सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज.
The miseries of material existence and the most hopeless conditions of life is the best possible opportunity to turn to God.
You're listening to Bare Knuckle Bhakti Shorties on the Bhakti Recovery Podcast with Jiva G, coming at you every Monday with a little spiritual something. Hi, Krishna, everyone. So this is going to be a little out of the box for me here because I'm just exploring it myself. Wish I can give you some wisdom around this. I can only give you some reflections. And the topic is intimacy. And what does that mean? Intimacy. What is the word intimacy? What does that mean in my daily life? How does that look? And have I ever in my life experienced what that is? Intimacy is not sexual relations. Intimacy is not, I guess, just not sharing things or just sharing a life. You know, having intimate moments with your partner or your children in a different way, of course. Friends, other devotees, sharing at our BRG meetings. I guess that's intimacy. And I might get a little taste of what that is. But I think true intimacy, I'm just learning what that is. I'm not so well read up on that as far as experiential. Even intellectually, I never, funnily enough, I used to just dislike the word intimacy. What does that mean? No time for intimacy. I'm too busy working, too busy emotionally grappling with my own natures, too busy chanting. Yeah, we forget that intimacy. Too busy doing this or that. We forget what that is. You know what I'm going to do right now? I'm going to pause this and I'm going to look in the dictionary what that means. All right, so I've just looked and it's exactly what I said. And it's a close relationship, either of the sexual nature or an exchange with friends, family. Yeah, it is that. That's what I thought it was. An exchange with another person. But I just want to say two things now to clarify. First of all, I don't want to sell myself short and say I've never had intimate moments, whether that be on a friendship level, on a devotee level, on recovering fellows, people in passing. I've had many intimate moments. But it's hard for me to deeply understand what that means on the level of being intimate with Krishna daily. Daily. And is it not like that when I said, yeah, we're busy doing this and busy doing that? I'm busy doing things without intimacy to have intimacy, which is like it's a snake eating its own tail. Intimacy, I think, is almost like Cupid. He pulls the bow, he shoots you in the ass, and I don't mean sexual love. I just mean you get a vibe with somebody. Oh, it's too loud here, hold on. And you catch that vibe with that person. And you somehow realize that there's a vibe between you and them. And you realize that there's something magical going on. And that is not a static thing. That is something that changes. That mood is like a little gift, a little insight. It's a bit of a taste, perhaps. Maybe it's our practice ground to have that intimate relationship with Krishna. But my intimacy, and the way I understand intimacy, has been heavily soiled because I never really knew what that meant. At least not on a conscious level. And at least not like picking it apart in detail. And I think that's very important. What does it mean to have true love of Godhead? What does it mean to be in that bhava? What does it mean to be to have that pure loving exchange, whether you see it like a gopi, or whether you see it like, I don't know, Arjuna, Lord Chaitanya, Radha. I mean, we have all of the moods to do this. But our practice ground is here in our conditioning, right? Devotees are there to learn how to love God. People are here to learn how to love God. However that might look. Whether it's a massive disappointment in all of humanity, then you turn to God. Whether it's amazing exchanges of love, you also turn to Krishna in gratitude. No matter what it is, that beautiful exchange of intimate love is what I'm aiming for. And realizing, actually when I started this conversation, when I started this, I thought I know nothing about intimacy. I don't even know what I'm going to talk about. It just sort of hit me because I'm sort of grappling with that at the moment. But as I speak, I do know something of intimacy. It might not be pure. It might not be perfect, but I've had glimpses. What I really want to try to say is I don't know if I'm capable of having complete intimacy all the time with Krishna or anyone for that matter. And what happens when we're in a personal relationship and that intimacy dies? It just dissipates and you don't have it anymore. Do we just leave? You have a friend, you don't feel like he's serving or she's serving you anymore, or serving the relationship anymore for some reason, and the intimacy has just fizzled. The mood has fizzled. Do we move on? And I'm not talking about fights or whatever, I'm just talking about it just slowly having its life, and that life course has slowly come to an end of that relationship. What do we do there? I know that my eternal relationship with the Lord is always there. But shouldn't I, as a devotee, and seeing that every single person is a part and parcel of Krishna, should I not give the same graces to others? These are questions that I pose. What does it mean? Is intimacy a gift we cherish, and when it fizzles out, we don't work for it? Do we work for intimacy? How do we keep that intimacy without it being an infatuation? How do we do that? I'm not telling you because I don't know people. I'm asking you to think about it for yourself. Because, I'm going to go higher and ask someone higher than me for that exact question, actually. And if anybody here knows the answer to that or has an answer to that, it might not be the absolute truth, but your answer, please feel free to write Bhakti Recovery Podcast at gmail.com. I'd love to hear your insights and answers. The functioning, this life that's just functioning sort of as life does, as we walk through this life, which was given to us, some say we chose to be here right now in this body. Some say all different, people say different things, different faiths have different ways of looking at that. But as far as I know, I chose this body. And this is what I'm trying to learn in this body with these conditionings. It's the next thing up. True intimacy. True love of Godhead. I mean, it's always been an aspiration of mine. And I've taken certain steps in that direction. But really the fundamental question is it something that I can work for? Is it not a matter of the heart? It is not a matter of trust and love. Is it both? Work and a matter of the heart? I grapple with intimacy, my friends. In these conditionings that I've had in this life and these experiences that I've had, especially before recovery, there was no intimacy there. I didn't know what that was. Not between my parents and I, not between my siblings and I. It was always a battlefield. If I could have any intimate moments, it was through music when I was growing up. Deeply intimate, deeply profound experiences through music. Maybe not God-centered directly. I believe that's another podcast. I do believe that even if it's not directly godlike, I think all music is godlike, especially if it's sung from that that authentic place, because love is anyway just a reflection of God. Even hate is a reflection of God. If Krishna is everything, then he is everything. And if he's not, then he's not, and he is. When I grew up in the punk rock scene, in the hardcore scene, I used to get punished as a kid, and sometimes I would get locked up in my room for like weeks. I mean, I can come out and eat and go to the bathroom and stuff, but I would have to stay in my room. And I had a radio. For weeks on end, I would listen to radio. To every song, with every lyric. It was my solace. It was my own intimate exchange. It was my savior, my shelter. It saved my life. And even when I stumbled across a college station when I was, I think, 11. And they were playing The Cure. And then they were playing Gang of Four. And then they were playing the Sex Pistols. And then they were playing the Dead Boys. And I just fell in love because it hit. It hit where nothing could have hit at that moment. Yes, some of that is very negative energy I see now, but it served its purpose. It was intimate. It was intimate. But even with that intimacy, I've grown and changed. It's not static. It's dynamic. Life is dynamic. I don't need that mood anymore. Every once in a while, I love to listen to some of that stuff, but I don't need it anymore. Does it mean it's not truly intimate? Or does it mean it was never true? Or does it mean that I'm a bad person because I left it behind? What does that mean? It just means I grow. So the fleeting, being attached to one intimate thing and then being closed off to the new things, it's not a good thing. And the only consistent that I've ever had in my life is God, actually. And whether that be my decision or someone else's decision, a friendship that leaves me, a relationship, a divorce, whatever it is, whether that was my decision or their decision, I say that without accusation. I say that as fact. The intimacy wore off and I moved on. But I'll never lose that intimacy with God. From the little bit of intimacy that I can offer or receive. Receiving intimacy is also a very, yeah, it's another one. How do we do that? How do we feel worthy to receive that intimacy? Fully receive and understand that intimacy, to understand that intimacy can really be given to us with all sincerity and to accept it without fear. Because many of us, to accept intimacy without fear would be, no, we accept, let me put it this way. For many of us, we accept intimacy, but there's fear there. Because before we even receive it, we're afraid to lose it. Before we receive it, we're afraid to lose it. It's too good to be true because we are attached to the outcome, are we not? So how can I possibly really understand what that means in trust? How do I understand? You know, and that's what we're getting to now. I'm really glad I'm talking this out now. Intimacy and trust. I think resting in intimacy, knowing it doesn't belong to me always in the way it looks because my mind doesn't know how to not possess things as my possession. That's the key. And if we don't have trust, then we have to know it isn't ours to have. It's ours to be in for the moment that it's given to us, gifted to us. Why are we here? Why are we here in the age of Kali? Why are we here grappling endlessly with the three modes of material nature? Because we need to learn something. Without attachment, without judgment, and with eyes that are wide open, aware. Man, being aware is so important. If we're not aware, we'll just go through life like Mr. Magoo. And I don't want to be Mr. Magoo. It's great to watch on a cartoon, but I don't want to be it. I don't want to be him. I'm not that guy. Many of us learn to love through experience. Many of us learn how to love through reading, meditating, immersing ourselves maybe with Radha and Krishna, what that means. You see, I don't come close to meditating on that. I'm still at Lord Chaitanya, and even then I'm grappling. I don't mean grappling with understanding, just grappling with letting that in. Those true, tender moments between God and myself. I never owned. They were gifted to me in moments I needed them the most. I don't claim them, and I'm not sure I can work for them. So ask yourself, you guys, I'd really love for you guys to ask yourselves, what is intimacy for you? How do you live intimacy? How do you experience intimacy? Do you work for intimacy? Do you just feel it? Is it a present? Is it a gift? Is it something you strive for? Have you even thought about it? That's my word of the week. I wish you guys the most beautiful, intimate week. The most beautiful of intimate stories and experiences between you and the divine and whatever and whomever with true love. And I'll see you next week. Hare Krishna, my dear friends. Thanks for listening. I hope you liked the Monday Shorties. Don't forget to check out our full-length episodes on Thursdays. If you like what you heard, spread the word. Peace out.
सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज.
The miseries of material existence and the most hopeless conditions of life is the best possible opportunity to turn to God.